My wife spent months secretly planning to move to Canada with our kids and make sure I'd never see them again. I found the visa papers, then the passports, then messages to her coworker. Once we're gone, I'll say he left us. Now she's fighting for custody. I'm sitting on the couch, a Saturday afternoon. The kids are running around the living room, and Julie is somewhere in the house doing, I don't know, cleaning or sorting something out. It's never clear with her. I grab her tablet, figuring I'll quickly check the details for our daughter's piano recital tomorrow. It's my turn to handle that, since Julie has been busy lately. Busy with whatever it is that keeps her so distracted, I guess. As I tap in, I can see she's left a bunch of tabs open. Google searches about Canadian residency, private schools in Vancouver. Wait, what? We've never talked about moving to Canada. Not once. I run my thumb across the screen, thinking maybe I'm just reading into things. But then I see it. Work visa applications. Housing listings. In Julia's name. Not mine. My gut tightens. My first instinct is to shrug it off. Maybe it's just some weird, half-formed idea. One of those flights of fancy that never actually come to anything. Maybe she's just curious about the idea. Or maybe she's planning some vacation. But there's something in the back of my mind, some small voice saying, no, this doesn't feel right. I sit there for a few seconds, feeling stupid for even thinking it. We're fine, right? We're happy. Everything's normal. But then, the worst thought hits me. She's planning something. And I'm not part of it. I stand up, staring at the tablet. I can't just let it go. Something's wrong. My eyes skim through more of the tabs. Applications, documents, a flight reservation for her and the kids. No mention of me anywhere. What the hell? I swallow, trying to keep my calm. But the more I look, the more I feel this weight settling in my chest. I try to steady my breath, but it's no use. My heart's racing now. That's when I hear Julia walking down the hallway, and I quickly close the tablet, tossing it onto the couch like it's nothing. She doesn't notice, not yet. Hey, I say, keeping my voice casual. What do you think about Canada? You ever think about moving there? She freezes for just a moment, but it's too quick. I barely notice it. She just smiles, quick and tight. Oh, I don't know. Canada's cold. Why? Did something come up? I can feel the blood rushing in my ears. I don't know. I was just wondering. I give her an easy smile, pretending like it's not weighing me down. You know, just thinking about the future. What's next for us, I guess. She laughs and turns toward the kitchen. It's always something, isn't it? But something in her voice, in the way she changed the subject, is enough to keep that nagging voice in my head awake. I know she's hiding something. That's when the questions start flooding my brain. What's going on? What's she planning? Why didn't she tell me? Why am I finding out this way? I know I need to confront her, but I also know this is going to tear everything apart, and I'm not sure I'm ready for that. But I'll have to be. Julia's out. A quick drinks with friends is all she says, like it's a casual, everyday thing. But I can't let it go. I can't stop thinking about what I saw on that tablet. The emails. The flight bookings. It's all too much for me to ignore. The kids are in the backyard, so I know I have some time. I've never done this before. But there's something gnawing at me, something I can't shake, like a shadow over everything. I pull my laptop from the desk, open her cloud backup, and start syncing it to my system. I know I shouldn't be doing this. It feels wrong, like I'm betraying her privacy, but I don't care. Not anymore. The first few files are innocuous, pictures, random documents. But then I see it. A string of emails between her and Nathan, one of her coworkers. The subject lines catch my eye, starting fresh, and the kids will love it up north. I click through them, heart pounding in my chest. The emails are filled with logistics, schools, neighborhoods, budget. And then, a casual mention about how everything's set for their job offer in Vancouver. Job offer. I lean back in my chair, staring at the screen in disbelief. Julia's been planning to move. With the kids. Without me. This isn't just some casual thought. It's already happening. And I had no idea. I scroll down. More documents. Passports. Work visas. Flight reservations. All for Julia and the kids. No mention of me. No mention of me. My breath catches in my throat. I feel the walls closing in, my body frozen in place. This was supposed to be our life. What happened to us? What happened to the plans we made together? The things we promised each other? I snap out of it, reaching for my phone. I can't do this alone anymore. I send everything to my brother, Max. I know he'll get it. He always does. I close the email, trying to steady my hands. But it doesn't help. The more I look at these files, the more real it all becomes. Julia's been planning this for months. She's been hiding it from me, piece by piece. I can't stop shaking. She's already made up her mind. And I've been in the dark this whole time. And I'm going to fix this. I grab her phone from the counter, plug it into my laptop, and begin syncing. I need everything. All of it. If she's been hiding this much, what else has she been hiding? It's not just a move anymore. It's a betrayal. A huge one. And I'm not letting it happen. The kids are asleep now. I've been pacing for what feels like hours. The house is too quiet, and every sound feels amplified. My hands are cold, shaking, but I can't stop myself. I know what I need to do. I can't keep pretending I haven't seen everything. Julia's been gone for a couple of hours now, so I know she'll be back soon. I've had enough time to look at the documents, the emails, the flight bookings, and the reality of it all is sinking in. She's been planning this. Moving to Canada with the kids. Without me. The thought makes my stomach churn. I feel sick. Not just from the idea that she's been lying to me, but from the feeling of being completely blindsided. How long has this been going on? How long has she been planning this without telling me? My heart's racing as I hear the sound of keys in the door. It's her. She's home. I don't know how to start this conversation. I don't know where to even begin. But I know one thing for sure. I can't hold this in any longer. I won't let her walk past me like nothing's wrong. She steps inside, sets her purse down on the counter. I'm standing by the door, my arms crossed, waiting for her to notice. She does, finally. The smile she gives me is weak, like she knows something's off, but is trying to play it cool. Hey, she says a little too brightly. How was your day? I can't do this. Not anymore. The tension between us feels like it's about to snap, like a tightrope that's been pulled too far. I take a deep breath. We need to talk. Her face falters just for a second. About what? About Canada. I say the word with a flatness I don't even recognize in my own voice. She freezes, her eyes narrowing slightly. Canada. She's acting like I haven't already seen everything. I don't let her play it off. Yeah, Canada. The work visas. The housing listings. The flights. You know what I'm talking about. Her face tightens, and I can see the panic flicker in her eyes for just a moment. She tries to brush it off. Ryan, this is ridiculous. You're overreacting. She starts walking toward the stairs, trying to leave the conversation, but I step in her way. No, I'm not. You've been planning this. Without me. Without telling me. My voice cracks just a little, and it feels like it's the first time I've allowed myself to really feel what's been happening. You've been planning to take the kids to Canada, Julia. Without me. Her eyes flicker, and she bites her lip. Then she sighs, her shoulders slumping. It's not like that, Ryan. Then what is it like? I can feel the anger building, but it's not just anger. It's hurt. It's betrayal. What else am I supposed to think when I find passports, flight reservations? All for you and the kids and none for me. She opens her mouth like she's about to say something, but then she just shakes her head, her face hardening. You've never understood. You're too controlling. This job offer was a huge opportunity for me, Ryan. I didn't say you couldn't take the job. My voice rises before I can stop it. I said we should have talked about it. We should have done this together. But you've been making these plans without telling me, like I don't even matter in this family anymore. I see it then, her anger rising to meet mine. She takes a step forward, her voice sharp. I didn't think you'd understand. You're so focused on your own life, your job. I didn't want to make this harder for you, Ryan. My chest tightens. So you decided to lie to me instead? She opens her mouth to say something, but then she reaches for her phone, pulling up a few messages, trying to delete them as she walks toward the stairs. It's like she's trying to run away from the conversation, trying to erase the evidence. I can't stand it. I grab her arm, holding it firm. Stop. Don't try to hide this. She jerks her arm away from me, and before I know it, she's pushing me, shoving me hard enough to make me stumble backward. My heart is racing as she glares at me, her eyes wild. Don't touch me, she screams, and for a split second, I'm frozen, watching her as if seeing her for the first time. I don't know what to say, but as I take a step back, something falls to the floor. A manila envelope. It's thick, too thick to be just papers, and as it hits the floor, it spills open. I bend down, grabbing it before she can stop me. Inside are birth certificates, custody documents, and a stack of departure papers. I look up at her, my voice barely a whisper. You were planning to take them, weren't you? She says nothing. She doesn't have to. The evidence is right there. That's when it all hits me. I'm not just dealing with a move. I'm dealing with a betrayal. A lie so deep I can't even begin to process it. Julia tries to speak, but I don't want to hear it. Not anymore. I grab the envelope and walk past her. The house feels suffocating now. I can't breathe. I can't look at her. I need to leave. I grab the kids' things as quickly as I can, ignoring the frantic calls from Julia behind me. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I know I can't stay here. Not in this house. Not with her. I'm done. The drive is a blur. My hands are gripping the steering wheel so tight. I can feel the tension in my knuckles. The kids are in the back seat, confused, asking questions I don't have answers to. Dad, where are we going? Liza asks, her voice small and tentative. I glance at her through the rearview mirror, seeing her wide eyes, her little brow furrowed with worry. Max is staring out the window, his face expressionless. I don't know yet, sweetheart. I say, my voice sounding hollow even to my own ears. We're just going to stay with Aunt Mel for a while, okay? I can't look back at them, can't look at their faces too long, because the guilt is already heavy enough. They shouldn't be in the middle of this. They shouldn't have to see me like this. But I can't undo what just happened. Julia's betrayal, the way she's been planning this whole move, leaving me behind like I'm nothing. It's like a knife in my chest, twisting deeper with every mile. I pull into Mel's driveway, her house a quiet refuge compared to the storm I've left behind. I don't even bother to knock. I just open the door and walk inside with the kids, trying to keep it together, trying to hold back the tears I can feel threatening to spill. Mel's there, her eyes widening when she sees me. Ryan, she says, standing up from the kitchen table. What's going on? What's wrong? I can't bring myself to say anything at first. I just look at her, my heart heavy. It's Julia, I manage to say. She's been planning to leave. With the kids. To Canada. She's been hiding it from me. And now she's trying to take them without me. Mel's face softens, a mixture of shock and sympathy in her eyes. Oh God. Ryan, I'm so sorry. Well, what are you going to do? I don't know. I shake my head, running a hand through my hair, trying to fight the wave of panic that's creeping up on me. I can't just let her take them. I can't let her pull them away like this. I look down at Liza and Max, standing beside me, looking up at me like they don't understand why everything feels so different now. The weight of it settles on my shoulders, heavier than anything I've ever carried. Mel steps closer, putting a hand on my arm. You're going to have to fight for them, Ryan. You have to. But you don't have to do this alone. I'm here. We'll figure this out. I'll help you. I nod, trying to keep my composure. I don't want to break down in front of the kids, but it's so damn hard. I'm scared, Mel, I say quietly. I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose them. You won't, she says firmly, her voice steady. You're their father. You're not going to lose them. She's right. I can't lose them. Not without a fight. I may not know exactly how I'm going to fight yet, but I know I have to. I glance over at the kids, their eyes filled with uncertainty, and something inside me snaps. They need me. I have to protect them. I can't let Julia tear them from me. Mel hands me her phone, and I see a lawyer's contact on the screen. I've got a friend who specializes in custody cases. She's great, Ryan. Let's call her. You need to start getting things in motion. I don't hesitate. I take the phone, already knowing what I have to do. The call is quick but intense. The lawyer, Lisa, promises to help, to file a temporary custodial order to prevent Julia from taking the kids out of the country. She assures me we can stop it before it gets too far. I hang up, my mind still racing. It feels like a small step, but it's a start. Mel squeezes my shoulder. You've got this, Ryan. One step at a time. I nod, swallowing hard. But my thoughts are already spiraling, my mind racing with questions. What's Julia planning next? How far is she willing to go to take the kids from me? But for now, I push those thoughts aside. I focus on what's in front of me. My kids need me to stay strong. I glance down at them, and Max looks up at me with his big, trusting eyes. Dad? He says quietly, when can we go home? I kneel down in front of him, brushing a hand through his hair. I can't tell him that we're not going back to that house. Not yet, at least. Soon, buddy. I say, trying to make my voice sound reassuring. We'll be okay. We're just going to stay here for a little while. Okay. He nods, though he still looks uncertain. Liza grips my hand tightly. I feel her small fingers trembling in mine, and I hold on a little tighter, trying to reassure her. We're going to make this work. We have to. Mel leads us upstairs to the guest room where we'll be staying for now. It's quiet here, far away from the noise of the house I thought was ours. But for now, it's safe. And safe is all I can give them right now. It's been a few days since we got here, and the tension still hasn't lifted. Mel's house is a sanctuary in its own way, but it doesn't erase the reality of what's happening. The kids have settled in for now, but I can see the unease in their eyes, the quiet questions they haven't asked. They don't fully understand what's going on, but they feel it. I do too. I can't stop thinking about Julia, about what she's done, what she's planning. The phone rings. I glance at the screen, my heart sinking before I even pick it up. It's Julia. Again. I've been ignoring her calls, trying to sort out what to do next without the noise she's been creating. But I know I can't keep avoiding her forever. If I'm going to keep the kids safe, I need to know what she's going to say next. I answer, my voice tighter than I want it to be. Julia. Ryan. Her voice is low, careful, like she's trying to sound reasonable. We need to talk. Please, just hear me out. I sit down, rubbing my hand over my face. About what? I want to fix this, she says quickly. I know I've hurt you, but I didn't mean for it to get this far. I thought it was what was best for the kids. Her words are hollow, like she's repeating them without believing them herself. What's best for the kids? I ask, incredulous. You think moving them across the country without telling me is what's best for them? You think lying to me for months is what's best? I hear her sigh on the other end of the line. Ryan, please. I know this is hard to understand, but I'm doing this for them. They need more than what we have here. I want to give them more opportunity. More opportunity? I can't keep the anger out of my voice. You're taking them away from me. From their home, from their friends. You're not giving them more opportunity, Julia. You're taking them away from everything they know, and you're doing it without me. Do you understand how wrong that is? She's quiet for a moment, and then I hear her voice falter. I never meant for it to be like this. I just thought. No, Julia. I cut her off, my voice firm. You didn't think. You've been planning this for months. You didn't even give me a chance to be part of it, to have a say in what happens with our kids. I never wanted to hurt you, she says, but I hear the hesitation in her voice now. I didn't want to lie to you. I just didn't know how to bring it up. It felt impossible. I didn't know what to do. Lying to me isn't the answer. I say, feeling my chest tighten. This isn't just about you anymore, Julia. This is about our kids. And if you think I'm just going to let you take them without a fight, you're wrong. I hear her take a shaky breath. I didn't think you'd understand. But I'm asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to trust that this is what's best for them. I laugh, though it's bitter, and I can feel the weight of it in my chest. You want me to trust you? After everything? No, I don't trust you. I trusted you with my life, Julia, with our family, and you're throwing it all away. You're making decisions without me. I never meant to hurt you, she repeats. But I need to do this. I need to give them a chance. My mind is racing, 1,000 thoughts spinning. There's no room in my head for anything but the desire to stop her, to protect the kids, to make sure she doesn't tear them away from me. I can't let her do this. I'm not backing down, Julia. I say, my voice hardening. I'll fight for them. I'll fight for my kids. I hear her breath catch, and for a moment, I think maybe she's finally understanding. But then her voice comes back, small, almost pleading. Ryan, please don't make this harder than it has to be. This isn't about us anymore. It's about them. You can't keep them from having a better life. They have a better life, I snap. With me. With both of us. You don't get to take them away and pretend like it's for the better. She's silent, and I can almost hear the weight of it hanging between us. I'm not going to stop this, Julia. I'll go to court if I have to. I'll fight for full custody if it comes to that. There's a long pause before she speaks again, her voice quiet, fragile. You think I'm just going to let you take them? You think you can just walk away with them like it's nothing? I'm their father, Julia. I say, my tone hard, unwavering. And if you think I'll let you do this without a fight, you're wrong. She's quiet for a long time. I can hear the sound of her breathing, and I know she's trying to make sense of this. But she's already made her decision, and I've made mine. I'll see you in court. I say, the finality of it settling over me like a weight I can't lift. She doesn't respond. I don't wait for her to. I hang up, feeling the cold silence settle in the air. I have to do this. For my kids. For us. I don't know what I expected when I went back to the house, but I wasn't prepared for the way everything felt so wrong. I've spent days stewing over what happened with Julia. Days of talking to lawyers, organizing my thoughts, and trying to keep my head above water, all while the kids try to act like nothing's changed. But we're all walking on eggshells now. The walls are closing in on us, and the weight of the situation is pressing down harder with every passing hour. Mel insists I don't go back yet, that we need time. Time to get everything in place, time to cool off. But I know I have to go. I need to gather their things, get what's needed for the next steps. I need to take action, even if it means facing Julia again. I park outside the house. It's quiet, too quiet. The kind of quiet that reminds you something's coming. I'm not even sure what I'll say when I walk through the door, what I'll do once I'm there. But the first step is simple. I need the kids' stuff. I reach the door, and the familiar feeling of dread settles in my stomach. When I ring the bell, the silence stretches a little too long before I hear footsteps. Julia opens the door, and the tension between us is palpable. She looks different. She looks like she's been waiting for me, like she knew I would show up sooner or later. Her eyes flicker with something, guilt, denial, but she doesn't say anything at first. She just looks at me, like she's waiting for me to make the first move. I don't wait. I'm here to get the kids' things. She crosses her arms over her chest, standing in the doorway, like she's trying to block me out without saying it. Ryan, we don't need to do this. We can talk. We can work this out. I shake my head, my anger flaring again. We've been talking for months, Julia. There's nothing to work out. You made a choice, and you didn't include me in it. This is bigger than a conversation now. Her jaw tightens, and I can see it. She's not going to back down easily. I'm not going to stand here and pretend this isn't happening. I say, my voice firm, each word like a hammer. You've already made your decision. Now I'm making mine. I walk past her, moving into the living room, my heart pounding in my chest. Julia follows, her footsteps heavy on the floor, like she's bracing for impact. Please, Ryan, she says softly. This doesn't have to be like this. We don't have to tear everything apart. I pause, turning to face her. You're the one who's tearing everything apart. Not me. I'm fighting for my kids. She takes a step closer, her voice rising now. Don't act like I'm the villain here, Ryan. This wasn't easy for me, either. I didn't want any of this. But you've made it impossible to move forward with you. I blink, stunned by her words. Impossible. I repeat, the bitter taste of it sour in my mouth. You've made it impossible by planning behind my back. You've been making decisions for us, for our family, like I'm not even here. I did it for us, she says, but it's not convincing. I did it because I thought this was the best option for the kids. I thought it would give them a better life, a better future. We're stuck here, Ryan. I shake my head. Stuck? Stuck? You think we're stuck here? You think moving them across the world is the answer? What about me? What about their father? She looks away, like she can't even face me now. I see the crack in her armor. The truth is slipping out, and she doesn't know how to hold it in anymore. I didn't know what else to do, she whispers. I didn't want to hurt you, but I couldn't stay in this situation. I thought I could fix it on my own. I swallow hard, trying to keep my anger in check. Fix it on your own? You didn't even think to ask me what I wanted. You didn't even consider how this would affect me, or how it would affect them. The silence that follows is heavy. The weight of everything that's been said settles between us, thick and suffocating. Finally, she speaks, her voice quiet. I didn't want to lose them, Ryan. The vulnerability in her voice makes me freeze for just a moment. You think I do? You think I'm just going to let you take them and disappear? I never wanted to take them away from you, she says, the words coming out in a rush. I didn't think you'd understand. I thought I was doing what was best for them. But now, she trails off, and I can see the regret in her eyes. She's unraveling in front of me, and I can't tell if it's too little, too late. I don't say anything for a moment. The silence between us is almost comforting compared to the anger I've been holding on to for so long. I'm not leaving without them, Julia. I say finally, my voice steady but filled with a determination I didn't know I had in me. I'm not giving up on them. I know, she replies softly. But you're going to have to fight for them. I will, I say. I already am. We stand there for a moment, the tension between us thick and undeniable, before I walk to the kids' rooms, gathering their things. As I pack up their clothes, their toys, the small pieces of their world that make them feel safe, I can feel the weight of what's coming. I can feel the fight ahead of me. Julia doesn't say anything more. She watches me silently as I walk past her, carrying the bags, the evidence of my resolve. I don't look back. The courtroom smells like cold, sterile air and faint echoes of voices from the past. I can feel the weight of the walls pressing in on me as I sit there, trying to control my breathing, trying to stay calm. Mel's sitting next to me, her hand resting on mine. Her support is the only thing keeping me grounded right now. I try to focus on her, try to tune out the sounds of the lawyers getting ready, the hum of the courtroom. But all I can think about is what's at stake here, the kids, their future, my future. I glance at Julia, sitting across the room with Nathan by her side. I haven't spoken to her since that night when I left the house with the kids. She looks almost serene, like she's done nothing wrong, like she's still the one in control. I hate that I can't read her. I hate that I have to do this, fight her for the right to be with my own children. Ryan, Mel says softly, squeezing my hand. You're doing the right thing. You have to stay strong. We've got this. I nod, trying to steady myself. I can hear my heart pounding in my chest, but I know I have to do this. For them. The judge enters, a stern-looking woman in her late 50s, dressed in black robes that make everything feel so much more real. She takes her seat, adjusts her glasses, and motions for us all to stand. Please be seated, she says, her voice sharp but neutral. We're here to address the matter of the custody of Ryan's and Julia's children. The request for temporary custody has been filed. Let's begin. Julia's lawyer stands up first, his polished suit giving off an air of confidence that makes my stomach churn. He's the kind of lawyer I'd expect in a high-profile case. The kind that makes me feel like the little guy in this fight, even though it's my kids we're talking about. Your Honor, the lawyer says smoothly, turning toward the judge, this is a matter of a family attempting to start over. Julia has been offered a position in Vancouver, and the children have expressed interest in this new chapter. The move is in the best interest of the family, and we ask the court to acknowledge that. Julia is their mother, and she has always acted in their best interest. I can feel my fists clenching in my lap. This is it, the smooth-talking lawyer, painting Julia as the martyr. I'm nothing but the guy standing in the way of her better life. I force myself to take a deep breath. It's my turn. I stand up, trying to keep my hands from shaking, but my voice is steady when I speak. Your Honor, my children's well-being is my top priority. I've been there for them every step of the way, and I won't let anyone, no matter who they are, take them from me. What my ex-wife is doing is a betrayal. She's making decisions for them without consulting me, without thinking about how this affects their relationship with me. The lawyer across from me looks unfazed. Julie is sitting there with her arms crossed, her lips pursed, like she's already won. But I can't back down now. I won't. Julia has planned this move behind my back. I continue, my voice gaining strength. She's been hiding it from me for months. I found the applications, the flight bookings, the visas. She never gave me a chance to be part of it. I can't just sit back and let her take them to another country like I'm nothing. I have a right to be their father. I see the judge's face soften just slightly as she listens, but the lawyer's response is swift. Your Honor, he interjects. This is an unfortunate situation, but Julia has always been an involved parent. The children are not being taken away from their father. There will be regular visits, and the children's bond with their father will not be severed. That last part, regular visits, feels like a slap in the face. I'm supposed to be okay with seeing my kids on someone else's terms? On her terms? This isn't just about regular visits. I say, my voice harder now, the anger rising. This is about them being with me. This is about being present in their lives. It's not a game. It's not a favor. I'm their father, and I won't let her make decisions that completely erase my role in their upbringing. They need both of us, and I will fight to make sure they don't lose that. The judge takes notes but doesn't say anything immediately. Julia's lawyer shifts in his seat, clearly trying to figure out how to counter this. But there's something in the air now. Something I can't explain. Maybe it's the way the judge is looking at me. Maybe it's the quiet determination in my chest. But for the first time since all of this started, I feel like I'm on the right side of things. The judge speaks again, her tone sharp but measured. I've heard both parties. We will now proceed with reviewing the evidence and discussing the next steps. I sit down, feeling the weight of the room shift around me. Mel squeezes my hand again, and I turn to her, giving her a small nod. The rest of the day is a blur of motions, arguments, and the sound of legal jargon that makes my head spin. It feels like hours, like days, But eventually, the judge makes her ruling. We are granting temporary custody to Ryan, with supervised visits for Julia. There will be no international travel for the children until further review. A wave of relief washes over me, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like I've won. But it's not over yet. Not by a long shot. Julia's face goes pale, and I see the anger flicker in her eyes. She wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this. But the fight's just begun. The supervised visit is scheduled for Saturday afternoon. Julia insisted on meeting at the indoor trampoline park, of all places. She told me it was for the kids. Said they needed to burn off some energy. I can't help but wonder if it's really for the kids, or for her. A chance to make a public spectacle of how great everything is, how everything is still fine between us. As if she hasn't spent the last few months tearing our family apart. I get there early, sitting in the far corner of the brightly colored space, watching the kids jump and laugh. Liza is bouncing around with a few other kids, her face lit up like a Christmas tree. Max is more reserved, but even he's having fun, jumping higher and higher as I watch him, every bit of my attention on them. I can't stop thinking about the last time we were all together, in this same space, before everything went to hell. I thought we were a family. I thought we could make it through anything. But now, I don't even know who I'm supposed to be anymore. Julia arrives, and I don't look at her at first. I just focus on the kids, making sure they're safe, that they're still smiling. But then I hear her voice, soft and sweet, calling out to Max and Liza. It's almost like everything is normal. Almost. Hey kids, she says, her voice saccharine, like she's trying so hard to maintain some kind of normalcy. Look at this place. Isn't this amazing? I see Liza turn toward her, her eyes lighting up, and she runs over, throwing her arms around Julia in an overdramatic hug. She's trying to make it feel like nothing's changed. Trying to convince herself, I think. I stand up and walk over, my heart heavy. I can't keep avoiding her. I'm here for the kids, and nothing else. Julia watches me approach, that familiar, tight smile of hers plastered on her face. Ryan, she says a little too brightly, I hope they're enjoying it. I thought this would be a fun, casual way to spend time together. Yeah, I say, my voice flat. It's great. It's too much. Everything is too much. The forced politeness, the empty gestures, the games we're playing. But I can't let the kids see how much it's all tearing me up inside. Not here, not in front of them. Julia crouches down to talk to Max, her voice soft. Hey, buddy, how's the jumping going? Max looks over at me, then back at her, his brow furrowing just a little. I can see the hesitation in his eyes. He's not a kid who easily forgets things. He's starting to pick up on what's happening, the cracks in the illusion. Good, he says, giving a half-hearted smile before turning back to the trampoline. He's uncomfortable. I know he feels it too, the awkwardness between us, the distance, the separation. But Julia doesn't seem to notice. She's too busy trying to keep up the act. She stands up and gestures toward a group of parents sitting nearby, casually chatting. Oh, hey, look, she says to Max and Liza. I made a few friends while you were jumping. Why don't we go say hello? I step in before she can pull them away. Julia, you're not taking them anywhere. Her smile falters, just for a moment, before she regains her composure. Ryan, she says, her voice soft, trying to sound reasonable. They can socialize, can't they? It's just a few minutes. No, I say firmly, my voice carrying more weight than I expect. Not without me. Not after everything that's happened. She stares at me, her eyes narrowing slightly. You can't control everything, Ryan. I can feel the tension building between us, but I don't care anymore. No, but I can control whether or not you take them off by themselves. You've already done enough damage to them. I'm not letting you do it again. Her eyes flash, a spark of anger behind the carefully constructed mask she's wearing. You don't get to make all the decisions for them, Ryan. I'm done playing her games. I'm their father. I get to decide what's best for them. She opens her mouth to respond, but she's interrupted by Liza, running over and grabbing my hand. Daddy, can I go on the big trampoline? It's so much fun. I smile, relieved by the interruption. I kneel down to her level, ignoring Julia's presence as she hovers, watching us. Of course, sweetheart. Let's go. I stand up, taking her hand, and walk toward the larger trampoline. Max follows behind, his mood still off, but at least he's here with me. Julia doesn't follow. She doesn't try to force the situation. And as we walk away, I feel the smallest sense of victory. I might not be able to control everything, but right now, I can control this. For now, they're with me. For now, they're safe. The courtroom is cold. The kind of cold that settles in your bones and refuses to let go. I've been through this all before. The legalese, the motions, the cross-examinations. But today feels different. Today, there's more at stake than just the children's future. There's everything I've worked for, everything I've believed in, laid bare for someone else to judge. I sit in the same chair as before, beside Mel, my lawyer, and a stack of papers that feels heavier with every passing minute. The room is filled with the murmur of attorneys talking to their clients, the shuffle of papers, and the occasional clink of pens on wood. The air is thick with tension. I glance across the room, where Julia sits with her lawyer, Nathan close by, whispering in her ear. She doesn't look at me, not even once. Her face is tight, guarded, but I can see the slight tremor in her hands as she grips the armrest. This is her last shot, her final chance to convince the judge that she's doing what's best for the kids. I can see it in her eyes. She's terrified, but she's not backing down. Not now. Not when everything is on the line. The judge enters. The room falls silent immediately, the sharp sound of her gavel echoing as she takes her seat. "Let's proceed," she says, her voice steady and commanding. The next few hours are a blur of arguments, rebuttals, and evidence being passed between the lawyers. My lawyer is calm, precise, but every word feels like it's cutting through the fog of doubt in my mind. He lays out the facts, the emails, the flight reservations, the passports, everything Julia's tried to hide. The judge listens intently, making notes, her expression inscrutable. I keep glancing at Julia, watching her reactions, trying to gauge what she's thinking. But I can't read her anymore. I can't understand how she could look at me like this, after everything we've been through, and still think this was the right choice. Finally, the judge calls for a break. The room empties out into the hallway, where I find myself standing alone for a moment. My mind is racing, my chest tight with anxiety. I don't know what's going to happen. "Ryan," Mel says softly, stepping up beside me. She places a hand on my shoulder. "You've got this. You've been fighting for this. For them. You're going to get through this." I nod, but it feels like I'm just going through the motions. Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, is hanging in the balance. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can handle losing them. The doors to the courtroom open, and everyone files back in. I take my seat, my hands shaking in my lap. The tension in the room is palpable. This is it. The judge speaks. I've reviewed all the evidence presented, and I've carefully considered both sides. This case is difficult. There are no clear winners here. But after considering the best interests of the children, I have made my decision. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, my breath coming shallow and fast. Every word she says hangs in the air like it's the last thing I'll ever hear. "Ryan," the judge says, her gaze fixed on me, "I am granting you primary custody of the children. Julia will have supervised visits, and there will be no international travel for the children until further review. This decision is temporary, but it's a step in the right direction." I don't know how to react at first. My mind is spinning. I hear the words, but they don't feel real. I look at Julia, her face pale, her eyes wide with disbelief. For a moment, it feels like the entire room is holding its breath, waiting for someone to speak. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect this. I thought this fight was about me not losing them. But in this moment, it's more than that. It's about them, about keeping them safe, keeping them whole, even when everything else has fallen apart. The judge bangs her gavel again, signaling the end of the hearing. Court is adjourned. The ruling stands. I stand up, still in shock, and turn to Mel. Her smile is tight, but there's a sense of relief there. Relief I'm not sure I feel yet. I glance over at Julia. She's not looking at me now. She's standing with Nathan, her shoulders slumped, her head down. She's defeated, but it's not victory I'm feeling. It's something else, something darker. I don't know how to explain it. But when I look at her, all I can see is the woman who betrayed me. The woman who took our family, piece by piece, and broke it. And now, as she walks out of the courtroom with Nathan by her side, I realize something. This war isn't over. Not by a long shot. But I've won this battle. And I'm going to fight until I have my kids back, until I have them where they belong. Months have passed since the courtroom decision. The kids are settled now, and I'm slowly finding my feet again. The worst of the storm has passed, but there's no denying the weight of the aftermath. I'm still living at Mel's house, still figuring things out, but it's quieter now. The chaos of the last few months has settled into a routine. The kids sleep better at night. They ask less about mommy's big trip and more about their weekend plans. It's a small victory, but I'll take it. The house is smaller than what we had before, but it feels like home. There's something about Mel's place that's easy to breathe in, even though it's still not my home. Not the way it used to be, anyway. I've been finalizing the legal separation, something that seemed like it would never come to fruition when we first started. At first, I wasn't sure I could go through with it. The idea of it seemed like one more thing that would shatter everything. But now, it's just another formality. Something I'm doing because it has to be done. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. But when I think of the kids, how they need stability, how they need a future that doesn't include any more lies from Julia, I know it's the right decision. Mel's been great through it all, but I can see the concern in her eyes sometimes. I can see her trying to help, trying to make things easier for me and the kids. But it's not easy. It's not supposed to be. I glance over at the kids as they play in the backyard, their laughter carrying through the open window. Liza's chasing Max with a water gun, and he's shrieking like it's the best thing that's ever happened to him. It's almost like nothing ever happened. Almost like we've just started fresh. But I know better. I know they feel it too. The unease, the quiet moments when they wonder why things are the way they are now. They don't ask much, but I see it in the way they look at me sometimes. They want to know it's going to be okay. They need to know it's going to be okay. And so do I. I take a deep breath and sit back in the chair, letting the sun hit my face. For the first time in months, I don't feel like I'm constantly running, constantly trying to keep up with everything that's falling apart around me. I still check Julia's messages, every day, like some bad habit I can't shake. I document everything, just in case. But there's less fear now. Less of that constant, gnawing anxiety. I've built up walls around the things that used to keep me awake at night. The threats, the lies, the fear that she would take them from me. But that's over now. Mel brings me a coffee and sits down across from me, offering a quiet smile. She knows I've been going over everything in my head, trying to figure out the next step. "You're doing good, Ryan," she says, her voice soft but firm. "I know you don't always feel it, but you are." I nod, taking the coffee from her. I don't feel like I'm doing good. I feel like I'm just existing, just getting through it. She shrugs. "Sometimes getting through it is enough. You've been through hell, Ryan, and you're still here. So are they." I look over at the kids again. They're sitting in the grass now, laughing about something Max said, both of them completely unaware of how much I've had to fight for them. How much we've had to fight for them. I swallow hard. I just don't want them to feel like they've lost everything. "You haven't lost them," Mel says, her voice steady and comforting. "You're their father. You're not going anywhere." I don't respond at first. The weight of her words settles in, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like I've got some semblance of control back. Like maybe, just maybe, I'm starting to rebuild the life I thought was gone for good. The phone buzzes on the table beside me, and I glance at it. It's Julia. I don't even hesitate. I hit the block button without thinking twice. The last thing I need is another message from her, another piece of her trying to worm her way back into my life. For the first time in months, I feel something like relief. Something that's been absent for so long that I forgot what it felt like. "Done?" Mel asks with a small, knowing smile. "Done," I say, the word feeling like a weight lifting off my shoulders. I stand up, walking over to the window and looking out at the kids as they play. They look so happy, so normal again. They're okay, and that's all that matters. For the first time in a long time, I know that I've done everything I can. The fight isn't over, but I've won what matters most. I've kept them safe. I take a deep breath, and for the first time, I'm not afraid of what's next.